Hello everybody, it's Ernest Emerson here from Emerson Knives. I want to thank our friends from Blade HQ for stopping by to shoot a little video to show you what's going on with our company this year. The latest knife that we are going to introduce this year is called the Aftershock, and that is a folding knife with a Bowie style blade. It's got a real nice generous thumb ramp here. It's got our wave opening feature on it, the thumb button to open it up. It's got that kind of characteristic Emerson deep choil underneath to keep your finger from sliding forward on the blade. And of course it's a liner lock with standoffs for the back spacers in it. And again, it's with us, it's kind of like when you shake someone's hand, you can introduce yourself to someone and you can talk to them, but when you really get to know somebody is when you actually shake their hand for the first time, because there's a lot that can be learned from the character of a person just through a handshake. And it's kind of the same thing with our knives. You have to pick it up and hold it in your hand. And I got to be honest with you about this one. It's got great Emerson ergonomics. It feels good in the hand. It's a good, strong grip. You can use it in either direction. This deep choil keeps your hand from being able to slide forward. And it's just the right size blade for a good utility, working / tactical knife / self-defense knife. And I'm real proud of it because again, like I said about the handshake, once you put it in your hand, it really feels like it's a glove that fits right into your palm. And again, we always try and design a knife that's going to fit tall to small, and I think we did it with this knife. It's a really, really strong knife, so I'm real proud of it. The Aftershock from Emerson Knives. The next knife we have is in our Signature Series line of knives, and it's called the Phalanx. And this is a knife that we do in a very limited run. It's going to be available to the dealers. It's got again, our characteristic thumb ramp on top, the wave, the button, again, the deep choil for safety purposes. And it features, as many of you know, I'm a little bit of a historian, and I'm a big fan of Japanese weaponry and a collector of Japanese swords. And this blade has what I call the trailing tanto. It gives you a nice, graceful, upswept point. It's got plenty of penetrating, plenty of cutting power. It's a tanto-esque blade. Like I said, I call it a trailing tanto. And the name of the knife is the Phalanx. Each one in the limited run will be signed by me, Ernest Emerson. 2 of 100, 3 of 100, 4 of 100, something like that. And so the signature will be hand engraved on here. Again, it's got standoffs for back spacers, and we put some grooves into the handle to give it a little bit of character. And this knife in your hands would be your mini Phalanx, if you will. I'm real proud of it. It's a good, strong knife in the hand. It's a good defensive weapon, good offensive weapon if that were the case. But again, a nice tactical knife from Emerson Knives called the Phalanx. And I think it's going to live up to the name. And what we've got right here is the Emerson Police Utility Knife, the PUK, and we've dressed it up. We've put new handle styles on it, or what we call grip tight G10 with the dimpled pattern. Again, it's black coated or stone washed. You can get it in any variety. This is a really nice compact fixed blade. It's 1/8 of an inch thick. It's got a nice thumb ramp on it. Again, our safety feature with that deep choil. And it's a very, very usable knife that a lot of people have used on duty or for camping, utility, defensive, because it's a nice handful of a knife. It's got a wider blade, if you will, which gives you a lot of rigidity and strength if you ever had to use it in a high stress situation. So this is the new unveiling of the new 2017 Police Utility Knife. Same old knife, but dressed up and modernized a little bit. Now we come to another knife that is a fixed blade, and we've jumped it up a little bit in that this is one of the biggest fixed blades that we've ever made. It's called the Government Mule. And this knife is a thicker blade. It's 187 thick. So it is really a workhorse. It lives up to the name, Government Mule, which that's what they called the mules that were used by the U.S. Army to transport all their food and ammunition and gear back in the day when they still used horses and mules. And again, this has a really, really strong, what I call spear point or bullnose blade on it. It's got enough surface here on the blade to be a really aggressive cutter. Again, because I'm so concerned about our knives being used in a high-stress environment, safety is a big, big concern. Again, real deep choil, so when you grab into that knife, you're locked into that handle and you're not going to slide forward. Emerson thumb ramp on top to guide the knife. The grip tight G10 handles. This knife is a thicker knife. These are almost a 1/4 inch thick slabs on that 187 thick blade, so it's a lot more in your hand. It's held together with nuts and bolts, so if you ever have to take it apart or replace, that's an easy day with just a regular screwdriver. And again, it's a heavy knife, it's a strong knife, and like I said, it's a knife that's going to live up to that name, Government Mule. If you need a knife for extreme use, this is a perfect knife for it. It's never going to break on you. Well, I guess you should never say never. I've seen some guys do some pretty insane things with the knives, but let's say for most people, you'll never break this knife. It's strong as a mule and kicks like hell, let's just say that. Well, I'd like to thank Blade HQ for taking the time here to come and see us at Emerson Knives. It's been a great show. It's obvious to me with the crowd in attendance here that we're alive and we're thriving, our industry is good, and we got to protect our rights to be able to do the things that we love to do, both guns and knives. And I just want to say it's important for me when I go to these shows because we don't look at our customers as customers, we look at our customers as friends. And over the years, when we come to these shows year after year after year, these people become part of my extended family, and I'm really more interested not in selling a knife to someone, but I'm here to find out how they've been, what's happened in their lives, and to reach over that table and give them a handshake. And for those of you that can't be here at the show with us in person so I could shake your hand, I'd like to just say, look, thank you, Blade HQ, for being able to do this, because this gives me a chance to reach out to all of you that are going to see this on the videos, and I'd just like to extend my hand, and I wish I could shake hands with all of you. You make it possible for me to do the things that I love to do, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart.